If you're going to build something from nothing, you've got to know what really works. I took a $1,000 loan and built a $5 billion business, and now I make smart investments in new businesses on Shark Tank. This is Barbara Corcoran, and you're listening to Business Unusual, presented by On Deck Business Loans. This week on Business Unusual, I'm going to be answering all of the great questions you guys keep sending me in on business, life, how to move forward, how to jump over obstacles. Come on, I'm good at it and I want to share my advice. But first, here's why poor kids build the most successful businesses. I grew up with 10 kids in a 2-bedroom home with my parents, and I know what it's like to be wanting. But I also knew being a poor kid gave me a huge advantage that the rich kids that I later would meet in life never had. First, they experience everyday hardship very early at a young age. They know what it's like not to have enough stuff to go around. They naturally know how to compete for attention because in my family, for example, 10 kids had to get the attention of just one mom at home.
Mom!
She didn't give us much attention, so we learned to compete. Also, poor kids in crowded households grow up in a team. So you don't have to wait till you grow up to see what it's like to be a team member. You're a team at birth. Poor kids also have the advantage of watching tremendous parental sacrifice every day of the week. I watched my dad work 2 jobs to make ends meet. My mom worked 24/7 to attend to all of our needs. So here's my thinking. Growing up poor gives you all the traits you're going to need to build a big business later on, but you get them early. You know how to compete. You know what it feels like to be a member of a team. You know how to make ends meet. You know how to scrap. These are amazing advantages that every poor kid has over the rich kid. I had to start working very young to help out with my family. I learned the value of a buck because I had to work hard for it. I had lots of early jobs, and in each of those jobs, I learned what I was good at and what I was bad at, and I would later use it when I was building a business of my own. I first learned I was good as a marketing person when I was 11 working as a playground supervisor, because I had no kids coming to my playground until I decided to make them breakfast every day and publicize it in the local paper, and before you knew it, I had 35 kids instead of 2 by the end of the summer. I learned that I was good at sales working as a waitress because I knew if I charmed my customers and chatted them up and really delivered their food quickly, that they were going to fall in love with me and pay me a bigger commission in the form of a tip. I learned that when I was working at an orphanage and caring for 12 orphans every day of the week, that I was actually a privileged child by comparison. All that stuff and so much more I learned in every job I ever had. I also learned that as a poor kid, I had nowhere to go but up, and that itself was an advantage because I had no parents giving me any kind of pressure to grow up and be a big shot. You get to chart your own course, you get independence, and you get to develop your own idea of success. You also learn to aspire because I had never been on a plane, I had never eaten in a restaurant, and therefore I dreamed about flying on a plane one day and eating in a real restaurant. And then I worked hard to make that a reality. Let me tell you, if you're a poor kid and thinking you have a disadvantage building a business, get out there and build a business. You have so much going for you over the rich kid that I actually feel like I want to write an apology to all the rich kids out there. You're listening to Business Unusual with Barbara Corcoran, presented by On Deck Business Loans. Here's a company all business owners should know about: On Deck Business Loans. On Deck delivers financing for small business owners in as little as 24 hours, with term loans up to $500,000 and lines of credit up to $100,000. Their average loan is about $57,000. On Deck products are always tailored to your specific business need with lots of loan and payback options. Their simple process saves you time, and because they have less strict requirements than the banks, they approve many different businesses and do it faster than traditional lenders. I've known the gang at On Deck for years now, and I can tell you they're the real deal. On Deck has lent over $10 billion to more than 80,000 small business owners. Thousands of them have reviewed On Deck, giving them a 9.8 out of 10 rating on Trustpilot and an A+ grade with the Better Business Bureau. So make your way over to OnDeck.com ondeck.com/Barbara for a free consultation with a small business loan specialist to find out exactly which loan best suits your company. ondeck.com/Barbara. And now it's time to answer your questions on Business Unusual. Peter from Tucson asks, I'm working to transition from rentals to sales in real estate. Any tips? Hey, Peter, this is something I could really help you with, and here's my best advice. It makes great sense to transition from rentals to sales because, as everyone knows, you can make a lot more money selling homes than you'll ever make renting them. But my word of caution is don't let go of your rental customers so fast. What you get with rental customers is instant cash, quick commissions that are going to help you get to where you want to go. So hold on to your rental customers and don't give them up until you can't possibly handle them anymore. And that's when you step over and go strictly into sales. That being said, you're a lot smarter than most sales agents out there, because what you get when you start with rentals is a million shots up at bat, 10 times more customers to try out your trade and get good at what you're doing. And that's going to really help you in the sales market. Jackson from Philadelphia's question is, what was the biggest driver that motivated you to be successful? Yeah, that's easy. I know it like my middle name. It's called insecurity. Insecurity is a wonderful motivator. When I was a kid, I was such a dunce in school. I was always afraid of being made fun of because I constantly was. I was always afraid of being the kid that was called on that didn't have the answer because I always didn't have the answer. And I was always afraid of being the outsider and the outcast because I always was the outsider and the outcast. I just didn't fit in. What motivates me in real life, once I got out of that jailhouse everybody else adores and calls school, I was motivated to prove once and for all I wasn't stupid. And everything I do, it's the underlying of all of that. So if perchance you're one of those kids at school that really can't cut it, consider it a great sign that you might be a phenomenal entrepreneur, because kids that don't study well or can't turn out great test scores often do well and think faster on their feet because they've gotten the life skills of needing to think fast on their feet to get through the obstacles of being a kid. And so that's what motivates me, but I can also attest to the fact that the great majority of my most successful entrepreneurs that I've met on Shark Tank have had learning issues, and they're phenomenal on their feet. Two different kinds of smarts. Don't get them confused. And that's all the questions we have time for today. If you have a question, tweet it at Barbara Corcoran, and I may just answer it on a future episode. You've been listening to Business Unusual with me, Barbara Corcoran, presented by On Deck Business Loans. Come back next week to hear more steps and missteps I took on the path to success on Business Unusual. Business Unusual is part of the iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Be sure to follow Business Unusual on iHeartRadio or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.